Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome everyone to the Overwatch Watchers Brawl presented by Star Esports. Today we have Redacted versus Citizens coming out for you guys. And it'll be the semifinals, I believe, of the winners bracket, the top bracket. I'm Aries, your play-by-play caster for today, and I am joined by poor Zach. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fairly well today. I'm pretty excited about this matchup.
Yeah, I am too. And speaking of this matchup, these two teams are very stacked in terms of lineup, and I'm expecting some great Overwatch play from both teams. But how did they actually get to this point?
I think it's just with teamwork, and we can actually get a look in to one of these teams. So before we get into the match, we are joined by Dembeck. So Dembeck, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey there, I'm Dembeck. I'm the team captain, shot caller, main tank player for Redacted.
All right, now, how did you guys prepare for this match? Walk me through what you do for the preparation of matches.
Well, generally we just scrim every day, and we play in tournaments a lot. So for this specific match, we didn't do much we didn't scout citizens VODs and counter strat them. You know, we just practice every day, try and be the best that we can as a team to perform, to our highest potential.
Yeah, definitely something you want to do as a team. And being that team captain, how do you find yourself supporting your team going through the bracket?
Well, last match I wasn't able to play because I was at a college event. But generally, I'm the person who talks the most in the comms. I hype us up before a match. If we lose, I make sure that everyone's okay after the loss, that no one's broken down into tears. But that doesn't happen very often. But it's just my role, just to be the beacon of light for the team to look at, so we all keep moving forward and positively work to be the best we can.
Yeah, you definitely want to keep a good mentality going in and out of matches. It can really affect gameplay when it really comes down to it. Some may not know it, but it does kind of creep in the back of your mind and could affect how you play. Well, hey, thank you so much. That's all the questions that we have for you. So good luck in your match.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
all right, with that being said,
yeah.
Here we go, getting into the match here. Pretty excited. Citizens versus Redacted, like said earlier. And going into this, you can expect to see some really good play coming out from both sides. They're pretty far into this bracket right now, so you might even see a little bit of something that they have in their back pocket come out, like we did get to see yesterday with some pretty interesting team comp.
Yeah, we did see some really interesting team compositions, and I love seeing those interesting team comps because that allows players to, roam out of sometimes their comfort zone, or actually go into the comfort zone from switching from our traditional goats 3-3 and, getting out of that brig prison, as some people like to call it, and going into that Reaper main that you love to see. I know we saw a little bit of containment with that with the double Reaper ban yesterday, but, we love seeing those interesting compositions being able to come out. And I know you said before, and I said this earlier, two really, really strong teams coming into this, and I like to point out Citizens are our returning champions from last month, and let's see how they're going to be able to do today. We know they're a very strong team from before, and we know Redacted are also a very, very strong team. I love casting both of these teams, but it should definitely be interesting to see how they're going to be able to go through this. And on Night Market, what do you really expect from composition-wise to see from either team?
Really just composition-wise, you're going to want to be able to do pretty much anything here. I wouldn't be surprised if someone were to pull out maybe a 4 DPS, maybe 3 DPS comp, but I think you also can definitely see the goats on this map. I'd say for this one, it's a real coin toss on Night Market. Once you get more into Control Center, that's where you see your standard goats, and then once you get onto Garden, that's where you're going to be seeing more of your testy compositions, where you can have all those DPS and really still feel very comfortable in that matchup.
Yeah, you can definitely switch it up on Gardens, and we will be seeing these compositions. How are they looking so far if they wouldn't switch right now?
If they wouldn't switch right now, well, you got a standard Zen goats right now on the side of Redacted. got Rhine. Well, right now we have the Reaper. I imagine that will change shortly here. Same thing on the other side. Zen, Rhine, Lucio. Basically just your standard goats, the bread and butter of the current meta. But it looks like Brooks is going to be actually staying on that Reaper. And they had a big change up on the side of Redacted, now going with an Orisa, somewhat of a bunker comp, a comp that we actually saw yesterday on this map that performed fairly well. So excited to see how they go into this matchup against the GOATs.
Yeah, possibly saw that match and maybe trying to take some notes for it. And Kuya is able to get the opening first blood kill in this series on the side of Redacted. And they're able to get their second one and possibly a nice early fight win here. Purple's going to be able to get a little icy there, and this is going to be a fight win for them very, very early on with those nice picks there from Kuya. Able to steal from them early, and that was a really, really nice fight win. And talk me through how they were able to control those picks very early on.
Very early on, I mean, Kuya did an amazing job seeing an opportunity to pick off that Zen, just taking a couple shots in there, able to hit him right in his dome. And pretty much when you have no Zen, you have no Discord orb, so your damage is definitely significantly lower. And with that, they're just able to go in knowing that they won't be able to take them out as quickly as they can take them out, and just you know, take over the point from there. Take their positioning, take their wins, and send them back to the spawn room where they're gonna have to rethink.
Yeah, respawn room is definitely where you want to think. And Kuya again getting an opening pick onto that Zenyatta, and this is going very much like the last fight with Araz going to be coming in here on purple with that Hanzo. And they have already 4 ultimates on the side of Redacted so far, and none on the side of Citizens. So let's see if they're going to be able to climb back from the ultimate deficit. They will be able to find Kuya finally, and I believe that might be the first death on the side of Redacted so far, with 50% in their favor. And how do you think they're going to be able to climb out of this ultimate deficit?
Right now, I think they're just going to have to get picks using their pure skill, which Purple was actually able to do there onto Kuya, I believe. Now coming into this, though, with all these ultimates that Redacted had saved up, they're going to really just need a miracle. And a miracle has come out from Brooks just by holding down that mouse 1 key with that nano boost. Really puts through a lot of damage. Really good job there.
Yeah, didn't even need his Death Blossom at all, just using that nano, and that can definitely happen because of the damage boosting that can come off of it and the healing, the extra health. And he's actually just going to be... Make sure to check your corners if you're Citizens, by the way. Just heads up. But a Blizzard will be coming in, see if it can get anything out, but it will be able to get a nice zone here, but Trace will be coming back and forth. And oh, the Dynamite is able to stop Brooks and not able to get anything out of it, and possibly actually not going to be able to touch the point that Orisa gets very close, but not able to. And how do you think Redacted were just able to hold that for so long?
I think Redacted just made good picks. They knew when they needed to use their ultimates, and they were actually able to not use really any abilities besides their primary weapons to get picks there in like the early fight. Kuya did an amazing job getting picks, and same goes to who was it? I believe Max. I believe no, yeah, it was Max. It was Max. He also got a really good pick. He got 2 actually with the Hanzo when they were coming out after Citizens just changed up their team comp to a similar composition that Redacted had there. So I think it was just purely about getting those opening picks.
Yeah, for sure. Those opening picks can be so crucial. And it will be a pharmacy, I believe, from both teams. Yes, it will, especially with that high mobility Tracer. Actually, they're going to switch off from the pharmacy and go into the Widowmaker on Max Demencio, I believe. That's how I say it. I'm sorry if I butchered that, but Rakitek will be taking some early damage, not going to be able to fully go down, but it's just going to be over control right now, and Zembex is going to take a little dive off the map, and Brooks is able to get a kill back from it, though, and that can be crucial. The Orisa is just going to try to hold this point, but this is going to be the first test of Gardens right now. Rakitek's able to get Kuya very early on, and the favor is just coming into the side of Citizens right now, looking to control the point first, and it looks like they're going to be able to. And how do you think they should be able to, or actually I was just about to ask you how they should use this pulse bomb, but they just did, and it worked very, very well for them. Able to get that Mercy, and Brooks is coming up with another one here, but he's going to be going down, and so is Beam, but Kuya is able to take one back and able to get another one. And it's just been these solo double plays that have been really, really helping Redacted right now get back into this, and they may be able to take the point away, but not for default. He says, no, you cannot. And how'd that fight really go down there after so much happening?
Well, at the start, I feel like Citizens noticed that, okay, now that their main tank's gone, we can kind of use that to our advantage. We don't want to get hyper aggressive to where they might get a couple picks off on us because we're not giving them enough respect. But they also knew that they had to stay back there a little bit, make sure that they capped the point, and they were able to do just that. Got a little bit scrappy there in the end, but sometimes it'll happen like that. But they were able to take it out in the end. And right now, Redacted is just trying their hardest to come back into here and just yoink it right back from them.
Yeah, the nano's going to be used onto Max on that Genji, able to get one with, and Dimbeck is also able to get one, but Beam will be traded out. Here comes an area denial on the side of that Hammond, and there's going to be a lot of switches going to be made. Well, I mean a lot, or I say a lot, but there's the two supports will be traded. And here comes a Dragon Strike. It's not even get anything, but Brooks and Dimbeck will be taken down here. And they're able to just stick onto this point after a good bit of scary action, but that seems to be what they like, is getting in deep on these fights and just able to pull it back. And how about the early pick from purple, or onto purple?
That's really good. It's definitely what you want to get, especially going into the last fight territory, getting a pick right off, knowing that you gotta recap this point. It's a very good pick off. They're gonna be able to go into this point with the EMP striking 2. It gets that Pharah. If they're able to get him out of the skies, that'd be really nice. They are able to actually pick off default, who was gonna get close to that Bob there with a good dynamite. Yeah,
and Kuya's able to get a follow-up kill there onto Camboyo, which can be huge, but there's going to be a double. Let's add in another double here from Ankro. Able to get 2 with that barrage, and purple as well, able to follow it up with 1 in overtime. Is ticking down, but it's a team wipe, and they're able to 100-0. It's been total flip-flop. On Night Market, it was 100-0, and Garden is 100-0, but on the other side is 1-1 going into the last point of the first map here in this series. And after that, what are your thoughts?
Well, right now I'm thinking that both of these teams are able to perform very well in the Orisa comp. They did an amazing job, Redacted, on the first point. As soon as they got it, they were able to hold the whole time. But also on the side of Citizens with that round, as soon as they got the point the first time, they were also able to hold the whole time. So right now, both of these teams are doing amazing when it comes to their defense right now. And it's really hard to break them.
Yeah, especially, I mean, we saw it on the last point when they went 2 players down, and it just turned out that one of their players was able to bring it back up with the double of their own to even it out 4-4, and that's what they needed, was that little bit of confidence boost. Because if you go down 6-4 and then you're able to get a double, that's more confidence for you if you just got it than the other team. But Ankro is going to be able to get the opening pick here, and Default's going to be able to follow it up on Kuya as well to get this opening onto this point. They need to deal with this Torbjorn turret. Won't be a problem there for purple. But it's really going to be how they're going to be able to utilize this D.Va that they're going to be diving in with. And purple's, he's just going to be, it looks like it's just going to be playing a fearless D.Va with it and be able to just push forward. But able to capture the first point. And how do you think they're going to be able to play around that playstyle?
I think really right now with this Ghost play, they're going to be able to get super aggressive here, get up close to him, and that actually leads Redacted to switch over to goats of their own now going into this fight, trying to make sure they get the big picks, and a big pick right now going on to Salieri and then Camboyo. So Redacted really come in here strong.
Yeah, and he definitely come off strong with that, and Redacted, like you said, doing that, coming in with 2, and see if they're going to be able to bring it back. And it does not look like it. They're going to get bullied off the point. And 31 percentage for them, and this is the first time, I said earlier, on this map that there's been a switch in control on one of the maps, but finally getting a nice fire strike there onto purple after getting democked, and they're nearly gonna have this transcendence. And how do you think they need to use these ultimates on either side?
I think right now with Citizens, they might want to do a nano boost a little bit early. Now that the boost has been actually on the side of Citizens coming out, they're going to have to back up a lot Redacted here. And they're actually going to get grabbed. Very well-sized grab, getting nearly everybody, I believe. And actually a pin and a D-Mech coming out from that very good grab.
Yeah, and here comes a D.Va bomb. With that, able to get 2, and purple is able to get 3 on his own. A 4th one as well. And what a nice way to take it back there for them. And do you think they should have used that nano boost onto the Reinhardt as soon as they Graviton Surge to possibly get more out of it? Because since they're all there and they can just swing their hammer, or do you think they used it properly?
I think they used it properly. They definitely wanted to get more room and back them off. And the Nano Boost is a great way to do that with a lot of damage coming out. Speaking of which, a lot of damage coming out. That grab coming out right now. Sound barrier to negate all that damage.
Yeah, and here comes some more damage with the Diva Bomb. It's not able to get anything, but Zimbek is able to get that with the zoning coming out onto Salieri. He's able to get it, and he's able to get another one into Incro, trying to just push them back using that hammer. And this has been a really, really important push because this percentage is just going up. They're trying to stall it, but not able to stall it for long enough. They're at 77% on their side with about 40 on the side of Redacted, and they're just going to be trying to push up here on the doorway. And they can definitely take this back with the ultimate usage, with the ultimates that they have. And you think they'll go with the same thing that they did before?
I don't think they can go with the same thing they did before, because Dembek with a great pin onto Rack Attack there. Now that they're down that Nano Boost, they're going to have to wait for that to come back, because that's really going to be their engaging tool, using that Nano Boost, and then this Graviton would be a great way to either follow it up or to use it during. And it looks like they're all going in right now, but Kuya with an amazing eat onto that grab.
Oh, they've been able to do that a lot lately, and this defense is unstoppable right now. Brooks with 2 great kills there, and Purple just going to take a dip off the map. And yeah, that grab eat was so important. They've been able to do that for so long in this tournament. We've definitely seen them known for that so far. At least I've been able to see a lot of them. But at 85%, this is going to take a good effort from them, especially with that Graviton Surge not being there for this offense. And have to go for this. They're going to go through the middle, and this could be the last fight here on Li Jing. And here comes Rally on the side of Ankro and Citizens, and here comes the hammer down, but it's not able to get anything for it to get something. And here comes Transcendence on the side of Carfix. They're just trying to zone them out into the back, just trying to see if they can funnel them. And here comes a double Diva Bomb. Kuya's able to get one, and it's not able to get anything up on the other side. Rack Attack is not, he's going to be down. And they're nearing that sound barrier on Camboyo. And here comes a Graviton Surge. And there's a sound barrier to go with it. And they're going to be able to flip this. What a great fight from them. Able to stall it out even after getting zoned. And only one going down from that Diva Bomb. And there is a nice 6-team man kill. And walk me through it. How did they take that back?
I think it was just proper ult usage and understanding who they really needed to target there. They noticed that the Reinhardt was off to the right there, so they were like, okay, let's single out him. And actually, when the Transcendence was pulled from Carfixer, he was actually on the other side of the wall, so unfortunately couldn't get over to Dembek. But you know, it happens from time to time. But with all these ultimates on the side of Redacted right now, you got to be thinking, are they going to be able to turn this around right here? I think they totally can with all this ultimates they got. But
yeah.
Right now, 3 down. Great shatter.
And another 3 down.
Good shatter coming out from both sides here.
Yeah, Dembek's able to get one onto Salieri with those double, Earth Shatters. And this one's good. This T-Bomb's gonna be stuck right on the top, not able to get anything. Here comes Carfixer with his Transcendence to try to save them, and it looks like it might do that as they're capturing the point. And the Graviton Surge in overtime is ticking down. They're not able to get on the point. Oh, that's... You hate to see it. You hate to see it. But Redacted... Yeah, but Redacted win map 1 here on Li Jing. Great by them. And they were just... I mean, what do you think was a winning factor from them there?
I think they're in that 3rd map. I think they just have really good ultimate usage. As you can see right there, that was a great grab coming out from Brooks. And he was just able to clean up after that. They all went in. I believe all they used there was that Graviton and maybe a rally. Brooks was able to pick up 33 eliminations and did really well during that match. So I think going into this next match, they want to keep that momentum going and just make sure that they keep their ultimate usage good, that they don't overuse ultimates, because it didn't really seem like they were overusing their ultimates. They had a fairly good ult economy going through that whole thing there. At the end, it was a little unfortunate that the overtime just ticked down so fast that I believe the Diva from the side of Citizens was trying to make it back to point but couldn't quite in time.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you hate to see, but if you're the opposing team and you just won, you'd love to see it, and you're jumping up and down. But we will be having the pick and ban. It's going to be coming in here, of course, with the map bans coming in first. Whenever you ban a map, it cannot be used anytime for the rest of the series. We cannot play 2 of the same map types, so we cannot play, or back-to-back, we cannot play a control straight after this, but the next map after this map, if that made any sense, we'll be able to play a control. But if we play an assault next, we cannot play an assault after that map. Hopefully that makes sense. But Hanamura, I believe, will be the one that will be banned by Redacted, and it'll be interesting to see what citizens will be taking for their map pick. And after seeing what we just saw, do you have any insight on what you might think they pick?
Thinking about it, I thought that maybe they would pick something that would be more towards an Orisa sort of composition, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to elect to pick Temple of Anubis here, and that's really on the first point, it's a really good bunker map. You can set that up on the platform, just able to rain in bullets, make it just super hard to come through that choke, and just be able to manipulate yourself around the map. You just have really good staying power with that. So I think that they made a good choice if they wanted to run more of that Orisa comp.
Yeah, and especially on the first point of defense, running that Orisa is so valuable. Especially if you can, well, I mean, they may end up banning the Orisa if they're not feeling comfortable on it as Redacted. They will be saving a hero, but I don't think Sis will be banning the Orisa. I don't sense they're playing so well on it, but you never know. But yeah, it should be interesting to see how they're going to be playing this. I mean, you may have that Widow up top, and I mean, I don't remember the exact team. I'm pretty sure every Overwatch League team has done this, but where they spread out with a Winston and everything like that, spreading across the first point on the defense. But
yeah,
you never know. They'll be saving Orisa, and going on defense is the side of Redacted. And Citizens will be banning a hero, and they'll be going on the offense first.
Yeah, really coming in here, I don't really know what hero they'd ban, but apparently they do right off the bat. They're going to immediately ban Mei. All right. I could see that the Mei could really put a damper inside of a bunker composition. Just putting up a wall just gives them a little bit of time to walk through maybe a corridor or something like that and get closer to their enemy, which at a bunker comp, you don't want to fight close quarters. You want to stay a little farther back and make sure that you were just raining in damage. That way they can't get anywhere near you. And as soon as they start to, that's when you rain it in a little bit more.
Yeah. And going with this, I mean, how would you set up on this point to try to attack this off? Would you try to attack the offense, or would you let them, I mean, it kind of sounds weird, but would you try to let them come to you, or would you try to go with an attack and maybe try to suction them into a place?
If by on defense you mean like just let them kind of come through a little bit and then pounce on them as soon as maybe they get into a smaller room.
Yeah.
I don't know about that too much. I think it's really just going to come down to what team composition that the defense is going to want to choose there. If they decide to go with that Winston, maybe they try to do something like that. But if they're going to go with the bunker, they're going to elect to just kind of stay back like, hey, you come and try to fight us. And then as soon as maybe they do make it through the little couple archways here at the choke, then maybe they back off to a little bit farther back position, try to get more picks so that way they can retake that space and keep holding. And it looks like that's what is going to happen here on the side of Redacted. They are going to elect to go with Orisa comp, double sniper, Torb, 2 supports. Got that one Orisa there. Orisa fairly good on her own tank-wise. Doesn't really need that second tank, but you can always have. It's always nice to have. And here on the offense, it looks like we're going to be going with a triple DPS Hammond, which usually is fairly good against these. Oh, never mind. They're going to elect to switch over to the Orisa. Fairly similar comms coming through. And Brooks
made that nice early pick.
First one on to the Pharah. Very good.
Yeah,
makes him use that res right off the bat. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a 30-second cooldown that you're not going to be able to have for a good bit here. And it's going to be a Hanzo duel going into this purple. He's able to get the nice first early pick there onto Brooks, getting that trade, I guess. But Res will be coming out from them. And, I mean, it's going to be an Orisa duel here. And see how they're going to be utilizing it. And going into the small corridor, just trying to slowly get that map control, trying to go up onto the side. And if Carfixer maybe in a little bit of trouble, it doesn't look like it right now as they're not pushing in as soon as I say that. But Brooks is able to get a nice dynamite pick over there onto default, and rack attack as well. Brooks putting in the work so far on that Ashe, and it should be interesting to see how they're going to be going through with this. 3 minutes remaining, and they're going to be setting up here on this top portion beside the point. Carfixer is able to get one there on the purple. But there's going to be a trade coming back in on Max, and I mean, what do you think about all these reses coming in so fast?
I mean, all the res is coming in, you know, that's definitely something you're going to want to have in your back pocket is that res. Just able to bring back another character is great, can really change the fight, turn it around. And speaking of turning around fights, what seemed to be not much happening, Brooks able to get a lot of picks there with help from damage boosting from the Mercy a lot of the time, especially right there onto purple. Great shots by Brooks, really doing work with that damage boost he's given, showing that there should be a reason it's on him.
Yeah, and definitely showing us they're doing a damage boost again on him, and there were so many kills by him in that fight that just turned it around, and especially early on, making them have to take it slow in that first early pick there onto Ankro. But speaking of Ankro, he's able to go one there, take down the turn as well, and here comes a Dragon Strike, able to zone them out from it, and possibly going to be pushing through with this, and it looks like they might. Here comes Bob, though. And Max will be getting rezzed here. A Bob on the other side as well. Rakitak's able to get beam, but there's going to be a trade onto him from Brooks, and Max will be getting one with his, not with his Dragon Strike, but I mean, 130 left. What do you think this offense needs to do to get back into this and able to get a really solid push in?
I think what they're going to want to look for is a good barrage, possibly, or try to use a little bit more of their ultimates to kind of just get them off of this high ground here. And Soleri over there all the way in the back gets sleep dart, a great sleep dart by Car Fixer, and he's able to get picked off by Brooks. They kind of just chased him down there, saw that he was in the back line, and was like, all right, we're going to single you out really quick. Don't mind if I do, and get the pick off on him.
Yeah, just a nice early pick there. It was just a nice pick in general. Max is able to get purple on the opposite Hanzo, and 60 seconds remaining, as that voice in the headphone says, your speakers wherever you play on. And I mean, looking at how this defense is going, do you think it was a smart pick or a smart choice to go over onto that 76 on Brooks?
I think the 76 does help out a lot there. He can also heal himself, put that healing pod down, heal others. And when he gets his ultimate with that visor, they can possibly nano visor, and that's going to use up possibly Rakitak's ultimate. And then they can throw out Dembex. So I think right now it's coming down to all the damage from Redacted is going to be able to be stopped all by the side of Citizens right now.
Yeah, and with that, there's going to be that transcendence going to be popped from Rakitak. I mean, there was a good bit of pressure. But speaking of pressure, Sally Air is getting so low. Car Fixer will be taken down, though. Anko as well getting taken down, and Brooks as well. And the res will be coming through, and Anchor's only able to get one. That's going to be Brooks, but he's able to take down Anchor as that happens, and Dembeck's able to take down Salieri. And this defense is holding strong right now in overtime, and they will have no problems with this as overtime ticks down, and no percentage able to be done and dealt. And how do you think that defense was able to withstand the amount of attacks that are coming through?
I think that they just had so much healing that it would have been so hard to put through that damage. They would really need to be able to push through there and take all these points, but they just weren't quite able to get up onto the high ground in time to try to rain down from above onto them. The Pharah is just like having a really hard time because these DPS are just really good at taking her out, especially when they were on the Ashe, when they were on the Soldier. Brooks was able to put so much pressure onto the Pharah that it's just made it really hard to get places. So really good job by Brooks to kind of control where that Pharah could be, or really when anyone could be anywhere, because Brooks was kind of running down and hunting people, honestly. The Hammond all the way in the back just got taken out by Brooks. He just has his sights set on somebody, and he's just going to go for him.
Yeah, he's like a laser focus at that point. Once he has his target, he's going for it. And that's another thing. He was able to bring so many of those fights just by himself, really, able to get those quads. And it was that damage boost that really helped from Beam. And they was able to get it for him, especially on that Mercy. Those damage amplifications. Hopefully I said that word right. I'm not an English wizard. But, I mean, it definitely is possible, like we saw with this defense on the side of Redacted. But with this composition, think they're going to be able to hold this this entire time?
Yeah, I think it's definitely not out the realm possibility here. It's a really good setup here with this Winston, able to just jump onto people. And with the dive coming through on the side of Redacted, that might make it a little bit harder, but that Ana's going to really have to be using her abilities just right. Car Fixer getting the sleeps that they're going to need, because they will most likely be double upon by that Winston if they get left behind.
Yeah, and that's going to be a huge problem. Salieri is going to be taken down very early, and so is Brooks, but not going to get the full kill coming out. And I missed a counter dive, and this defense is able to hold strong right now, able to get 2 early on, and Rakitek's able to get 1 with that, and that's just going to be this fight over with. I mean, what do you think that was a redive onto them?
I think they did a really good job. I wouldn't say it was much of a redive. It was more just like everybody being in really close proximity to each other, and then a good nade coming out by Rakitek to get some anti-healing out, and I believe he actually got a pick with it. And speaking of good anti-nades coming out, another really good one came out, and they're gonna just completely go in on this one, doing a really good job focusing down the same targets and just making sure that they can get as much damage through as possible and just get back safe and sound.
Yeah, the communications is one of the biggest parts of Overwatch, communicating, hey, we need to get on this Ana or whatever target you call, and when you're able to do that as a team, you're able to coordinate and get onto those targets that you say, then that's a really, really strong team. And Purple's actually going to get demeched here by Brooks, and I mean, they're definitely going to have the chance of it. Oh, Carfix is going to be taken down as soon as they are about to get that nano, but here comes Dimbeck as he's going to go in for the rage, and so is Salieri. They're neither of them are able to get much out of except a little zoning, and Devos not able to get anything out of his Graviton Surge, and his defense just holding strong right now, and 2 minutes left. And here comes the Nano Blade. This can do some damage. Here comes a Diva Bomb, though. It's able to get Max. Oh, the one person that did not need to die goes down, and that's possibly just going to be his fight over. That's 2 ultimates that are done out of there, and he's actually going to switch over onto that Doomfist over from that Genji, and this defense is holding strong right now. We may actually see a draw on Temple of Anubis.
Yeah, it was a very good stun by Encro. The Genji was actually probably about to get out of there with that Diva Bomb coming through. He saw where it was, and he knew where he needed to go, but Encro able to hit the stun on him, so that way he really just didn't have anywhere to go. He couldn't move. So that Diva Bomb was just able to take him out. So that was a really, really good stun by Encro right there. And going into this next fight here, they have the EMP, and that's going to be really crucial towards them winning here. But with a player down, you might have to wait a second more, and that's going to happen, you know. But I think what's going to happen is they're going to try to force out that sound barrier and then use the EMP right after. That way, they no longer have their sound barrier. Plus, they can't use any abilities on the side of Citizens. So I think this EMP is going to be a big factor for Redacted here.
Yeah, here comes a Nano onto that Winston. Here comes a hack. Not able to get the sound barrier, but it's actually able to kill Camboyo. Anti-mech Purple, and this may be huge. Purple will be able to take down Max, and Beam will be taken down from the Angry Monkey, and that's going to be it for this attack. And there's this definitely strong possibility for a full hold here. I mean, there's no ultimates on their side at all, except for the possibility of Dimbeck and Beam to get their ultimates. And they have 15 seconds left, and they need to hurry on to this point. They're going with this dive, and I mean, it definitely can happen. And he's actually going to have his Primal Rage, and here comes a Diva Bomb. He's not able to get anything. And there's a huge anti onto Kuya and Dimbeck. Dimbeck's getting very low. Kuya's going to be taken down by Salieri. And Purple on the other Diva is able to get Card Fixer, and this attack is over. Unless a miracle can happen, I don't think it will. Overtime ticks down, and we have a draw on Temple of Anubis with with literally no ticks taken.
Yeah, like I said in the previous matches, both of these teams, when they did capture those points on Li Zhang, that they were able to hold them really well. They have really good defenses. And looking at Temple of Anubis, the fact that both teams were able to do a full hold just shows you that these teams are really, really good at making sure that no one breaks through them and gets to their point. This is their point. That's what they're trying to say there. And really at the end there, good kind of an ultimate economy, keeping it in their minds like, okay, what do we need to use and when? Because at the end there, Citizens did have their grab, and they also had their Diva Bomb. So they threw the Diva Bomb in the back, threw the Graviton out in front of them, and the fact that who was it? The Ana was able to get an anti-nade over onto the Graviton and really just make sure that no one was able to get healed. That just made it so much harder for them to push onto the point, because without that healing, they're just getting melted down and they're getting nothing in return for that. So you just keep taking down your health. There's not really much chance of you getting to the point with your life, honestly.
Yeah, and you definitely need that healing to come through, especially when you're getting absolutely melted like we were seeing there. There's a lot of heroes getting taken out very, very low from diving in and the other team's diving, and Iconwall will be banned, by the way. And speaking of, I don't know how to transition to that. Vote for your MVP if you're on Twitch. Go down in the bio, vote for your MVP if you're on D Live. Go ahead and shoot us over on Twitch. Maybe hit us with a follow. And if you're feeling extra nice today, or aka you're feeling Canadian, go ahead and hit us with a tier 1, 2, 3, tier 1 or 2, 1 or 1, 2 or 3 sub. Good heavens, I can't speak. Or hit us with the Twitch Prime. We wouldn't mind that. But yeah, just go ahead and hit us with follow anything you want to feel like, and shoot over back to D Live because we love all of you. Just go ahead and vote for your MVP down in the bio below, and we love seeing who you guys like for your MVP. I mean, I don't like to sway the audience, Zach, but if you want to put in your MVP, I wouldn't mind. But.
Man, right now I think we're still a little too early on to be deciding MVPs. So if you were to decide an MVP right now, I think you'd be counting your chickens before they hatch. We still got plenty of time. We still got plenty of good Overwatch to watch. And I think really you're going to be seeing those plays coming out all night. So whichever ones you think are going to be bigger are definitely the ones where you're going to want to go for.
Yeah, and something I forgot to mention, you might want to hold it off to like the last last map that you think. Wow, I cannot speak. Anyways. But Hollywood will be selected next, and this is another map which could be a total 0-0 again, which I have actually never seen. I've never seen 2 draws in the same series before, but never know.
That'd be really interesting to see. I wouldn't doubt it happening with these 2 teams. Like I said,
yeah, their defenses.
Very good at their defenses.
Yeah, they're solid. I mean, there haven't really been many cracks on either side of the team. I mean, there's been times where they had 1 or 2 players go down, and they were just able to bring it back. I mean, that's just them. And did you notice the teams get switched? Or?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
Dembeck did decide that Redacted is now going to be starting off the attack on Hollywood. Which normally you do see teams usually want to start on defense. That way they need to know how far they can go. But because I feel like they know that the defense is so good that they just want to understand a weak point, or maybe they saw a weak point in that last map that they want to try out here and just want to hurry up and get it through. So maybe that's kind of the idea going into that. And then, of course, the ban is going to be going back onto May. Everybody's ready, and we are going to be heading into Hollywood.
Yep, and this should be fun to see. I love watching Hollywood because of just teams being able to pull out some crazy stuff. But I mean, do you think we could see another 0-0, or do you think we will see a winner on this map?
Honestly, in the last match, I had no clue. I definitely thought that the draw was a possibility, and seeing the draw be a possibility on Temple of Anubis, I don't see why it couldn't happen here on Hollywood. We wouldn't want to hope for that. We'd love to see a little bit of a win action coming out from either of the teams. We wouldn't want to be here all night doing draws. Yeah, I mean, you love watching good Overwatch, but every now and a while you do want to see a win come up on the board for somebody. And it looks like right now we're seeing a GOAT style on the side of, I believe it's Citizens in the blue now and Redacted in the red. So we're seeing GOATs on the offense here. We're seeing a GOATs on the defense here with an Ana in place of the Zen. So you're not really seeing too much of a change up here between normal metas. You're gonna elect to go up towards the high ground, it seems. So going into this fight, I think what they're really gonna want to look for here on the side of Redacted, now that they switch over to the Sombra, is gonna be a big EMP. They're gonna want to try to save up, get it fast, go in, EMP. No one can run anywhere. Lucio, speed boost is down. Just keep them all in their little jumble and take them out. And it looks like they're actually going to be switching a little bit of everybody, going over to that Orisa comp that they feel very comfortable on.
Everyone's feeling comfortable on it.
Yeah, everyone's starting to feel a lot more comfortable with this Orisa. The Orisa has been a really good pick with that shield. It's not completely mobile, but it's also not completely stationary. Very good to have it there.
Oh, yeah. And going with this, it would be that pharmacy on side of the attacking team on Redacted. But going in says it should be interesting to see how they're going to be taking this. I mean, possibly initiating with that far into some fights can be a possibility, but you never know. But Brooks will be taken down very early onto this fight. There's a nice anti-nade onto Beam. And yeah, they're just going to take it down here. Rack Attack will be distraughted, though. I think I chose the right word, but this fight is over. Just nice early picks there, and Dimbek's going to be staggered a tad bit here. And going into this next fight, I mean, there's no ultimates other than Kuya being somewhat close to his and Rack Attack being close to his. I mean, do you think there's... What do you think needs to happen in this next fight other than Kuya getting Camboyo early on?
Well, I think getting a pick in that Lucio early on is really good, especially because now their Goats comp is so much less mobile that they can just run away from this Ryan now. They can't really do much about it. But they are able to keep him back. But I don't know how much that barrage is going to be helping them right here. Looks like Max is going to get taken out, but the main taken out Salier on the side of Citizens. That's really good for Redacted. That's what they want to see right there.
Yeah, they're actually able to get a tick so far into this, and Default's able to bring one back there onto Car Fixers. That primary Mercy, the bongo will be placed down here on Dimbek, and see how they're going to be using this. And Beam does have that sound barrier if needed, and that Dragon Strike is also on the side of Brooks. And here, speaking of, here comes if it's going to be able to get anything. Not so far. Brooks is able to get one, though, and this offense is starting to roll. Salieri will fall, and I believe this point will, too. There will be a nano onto Ankro, but not for long. This point will be theirs as soon as a pesky Lucio gets off the point. Yeah. But on this defensive side, how do you think they need to hold the second point?
Here on the defense, they have really good ultimates that they're going to be able to use here coming into this next fight. They have the Graviton, they have the Shatter, they have the Sound Barrier, they have the Self-Destruct, you know, so they got a lot of utility here. As long as they don't overuse utility, they're going to be really good here. A little bit of a bomb thrown out there to kind of split people up. I can see that. And Purple going in on a Max. Good pick right there while he was in the barrage. Knows that he can't move anywhere, and he's just going to try to pick him off just then and there.
Yeah, as a former Pharah main, I hated it. Divas dived me, but yeah, great move on him knowing that he can't move and his barrages can kill him. It's not a very, very fun thing, but 4 ultimates on the side of Redacted and 2 on the side of Citizens, seeing how they're going to be using these. Go for it, a triple EMP going to be on the side of Citizens, and here comes a Valkyrie on the side of Car Fixer. Some good healing coming in so far, and they still do have that sound barrier. And speaking of, it's going to be popping out here in the Coalescence on the side of Rack Attack, and a Rally as well. Two supported ultimates are going to be used on the side of Citizens, and the supports are coming in huge. Rack Attack and Camboyo getting 3, and Rack Attack's able to get a 3rd actually on that Moira, and this defense holding strong right now. He's able to hold another. Getting POTG. You never know. There could be a 6-man Diva Bomb in here, but yeah, I mean, this defense holding strong, and this offense trying to get some traction with it. And here actually comes a Graviton Surge onto a Soul Brooks, which is a very, very interesting option. And this is their holding is really far forward. Would you hold this far forward, or?
Right now, I feel like they know their win conditions. They know the ultimates they have, so they knew that they could hold pretty far forward there for a little bit longer. And now they know that they might have to back off a little bit more. They saw that the bash came out for a second, so they did have to back off. They couldn't just sit there in the open. So right now, I think that they got to be really careful with their ultimates they use here. Right now, it looks like it's a really good coming out from Purple. Able to take off Car Fixer. Dimbek now getting taken out. And Micro also taking out the enemy Brig. He's doing very good right now.
Able to take out the Doppelganger, but some really nice kills coming in from these support players. I mean, usually you see the DPS and the tanks getting all the kills, but the supports are here too to get some eliminations. They may heal, but they may do damage as well. But it's going to be a Ryan-on-Ryan battle here, and see how that's going to be going out for this enemy. It's just been the shields that have been really, really important. Purple's able to actually get one here on the Car Fixer. The rally is up on a Max And they're just pushing them back right now. Purple's been a strong force in this, just pushing up all the way, giving them some leverage to push with it, and it's been working. In less than 60 seconds left, Camboyo holding strong as well. Salieri will be picked off, so that's possibly going to prompt a push in here, knowing that they have to get back. And
yeah, that was a good pick onto him, especially since he had that shatter there. Now, knowing that they're down their main tank, they can just run over to that cart. It's a really good pick onto him to kind of break that defense at their spawn there. And knowing that they had to back off, that's exactly what Citizens decided to do. Very smart play by them.
Yeah, and here comes the Graviton Surge as well with the sound barrier. And here comes 2 Diva Bombs. One's able to go, and they're able to trade off on opposite Briggs. It's an interesting one. Carfax is able to take down Salieri, and Default will be taken down. And this offense is rolling right now. Carfax will be one of the casualties taken down, but it's not much of a price to pay when you're pushing this payload towards the 3rd point and going into this. I mean, they will. Do you think they'll be contesting this or no?
I think they're definitely going to be able to contest this here. They should be able to get back shortly. Looks like Purple and Salieri are going to lead the charge right here onto the cart, pushing them away. And looking at it right now, there's not too many ults being able to be used right now. Encro is probably about to pop his Riley to try to keep them off, because he's got to keep his team alive.
Yeah.
Comes through.
There we go.
And he comes up from the other side too.
Yeah, Kuya's getting so low. Finally going to be demacked here, and Brooks will be taken down with that
big shatter.
Yeah, huge one. Not able to capitalize off of it though, other than Brooks, but Max will be taken down from a charge, and these runs have been coming huge. Dembek's able to get one, and he's able to get another one. So is Purple, and this defense holding strong yet again. Overtime ticks down, and great fight from them there. And what was really the turnaround to be able to stop this payload?
I think knowing that they didn't have many ults coming into that fight, they also knew that the enemy didn't have many ults coming into that fight. So when Citizens were starting to push out there, they knew that they could play with them a little bit and see if they could try to get a pick off there. Because if you don't need to use your ultimate at that very start of the fight, then that'd be great to use it later in the fight when you can definitely secure the win. They weren't quite seeing any picks come out, so they did elect to use the rally to push up there and make sure that they can get aggressive, try to push them off the cart. And that's exactly what started to happen there. But then, of course, Redacted answering with their own rally, also them pushing up. Saw shatters come out from both sides. And all in all, I think that they just did a really good job by the side of Citizens, making sure that they stayed grouped up and knowing who they wanted to target there.
Yeah, and that's definitely a huge thing is target prioritization and knowing who to target when and where, and ult tracking as well comes into fact with that. So if you know that like there's an Earthshatter or a Graviton Surge, you definitely want to focus those heroes, especially if you know that no one else has an ultimate. Definitely want to prioritize those, but actually getting your team to focus on them is, or saying to focus them is one thing, but actually getting your team to focus them is a whole nother thing. That's where team communication and trust comes into play. Is when one person says, yeah, we need to focus this person, or we need to focus this Zarya, and then someone's like, I don't know, but they still focus them anyway and go with the team, and then they end up winning the fight because of being all together. But how are these compositions going?
We see the go-to defense from the side of Redacted, and then Citizens going with that Orisa comp that was also used on the offense here. So flipping sides, they're also going to take the roles that come with the side, the compositions. And right now, I think that actually they're going to decide to go back on the side of Citizens. They're going to take up a Hammond and a Sombra, got the Widow. So they're just making sure that they got all this long-range damage output, and then the Sombra able to hopefully get in that EMP, so that way everyone can get super close in with their damage next. And a good hack right there onto Dembek is really going to open up this fight for them.
Yeah, and going with that, Salieri on that Hammond just trying to be a nuisance. He's going to get taken really, really low here. He'll be able to back out, but 3 minutes remaining in this to just poke damage being exchanged here. And I mean, how do you think they should utilize this Hammond on Salieri?
I think it's really just about displacing the enemy team, making sure that they aren't behind that Ryan shield, because that Ryan shield will be eating up a lot of that damage. The same thing with that Diva defense matrix, which they've been using really well so far. But like what just happened, Salieri was able to hit Dembek all the way out of the fight, so he couldn't get any support. from his teammates. A really good way to use that hook that he has to push people around to where he wants them to go. And right now we're going to see the trans get popped. They're really trying to hold this here, but a lot of picks are coming out from the side of Citizens.
Yeah, so it won't be a 0% hold on Hollywood from either team, and they possibly looking to hold back into this. There will be area denial, and yeah, Dembek will be taken out of that with the mines, and this point is lost. Ankro popping that barrage and able to go on car fixer, but not really needed. And yet again, like I said before, how do you think this defense needs to set up to stop it on the second point?
The Winston switch is definitely a great idea. Bembek switching over to that Winston is going to be able to go a lot for those supports there. But it looks like that Citizens are just going to, you know, take what they got there, be like, all right, we know what's best for this part of the map. We're going to go back to our little old goats here. We're going to elect to keep the Sombra, though, of course, because that EMP is so valuable. But it could be negated if they're able to get good kills with the grab.
Yeah, here comes a huge person, or 4-man EMP with a huge anti-nade, not able to capitalize off it. Or not car fixer. Back attack's able to take down Dembek, who's playing that Winston. And another great anti-nade. Not able to capitalize off of it again, but huge damage going to be coming through. Brooks and Max are able to get following kills with it, and they're doing absolute wonders right now on this defense. Like we said before, both defenses are absolutely excellent and stellar. I mean, these aren't any sluggish teams. These are high-tier teams, and they are definitely coming to play right now, and these defenses are showing it. But here they go onto this offense, going onto the payload. Comes a Diva Bomb, see if he can get anything. It's actually able to get two! Rack Attack and Camboyo. The Omnic and the DJ going to be taken down here by Kuyo, and he's able to follow it up to the one on Reinhardt on a Salieri, and Ankara will be taken down as well, and that's this attack over with 3 minutes remaining. And that Diva Bomb just absolutely blew that fight wide open for them.
Yeah, Diva Bombs, you know, sometimes you throw them in, you never really expect them to get a lot of people. You don't know if they're going to get nobody, but going in there too is a huge number to get still.
Yeah, and here comes the Graviton Surge after the Earthshot, and the Earthshot is able to catch two here, Purple and Default, and they will be both taken down. That's his offense taken down again with less than 2:25 left to go here, and there's actually been a lot of 6-man kills and team wipes on the side of the Citizens, but able to finally get that one down. And going into this offense, what do you think they need to do? Do you think they should go in with the rally or the Transcendence?
Definitely go in with the rally. They know that they probably have the Graviton right now on the side of Redacted, so they don't want to use that Transcendence as an aggressive move, but more as a defensive move. And they're going to try to go all the way around from the back here. I don't see why it would be the best for them, maybe to try to pick off Car Fixer, who wouldn't be able to move as fast. But the Grav does come out, and he was able to get the Transcendence off Rack Attack.
Yeah.
Making it super hard for them to get any kills through that. Good pin on to Max from Salieri.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge one onto Max. But here comes the rally as well, and the ultimate jambalaya, as I like to call it. That Divamo's not able to get anything. He's able to onto Dembek, and his kills are just coming in the way. Q's actually able to kill Camboyo with the D-Mech, which is remech, which is really interesting. I haven't seen that one in a while. This offense is rolling right now. They have that Diva Bomb and the Earth Shatter. And would you combo those two, or would you use them, or would you use the Diva Bomb to zone out?
I think you can use them really in either way. With these high-skilled teams, they could really use it in either way, and I'm sure they could see a veil to it. But with all these ultimates on the side of Citizens right now, it's going to be really good for them, especially when they do that combo that you were talking about with a 3-man Shatter into the 3-man Diva Bomb. Purple also able to pick off Car Fixer while using his thrusters, and really just doing an amazing push right now by the side of Citizens here at the end.
And did you see that Dembek not able to get that Earth Shatter off? And oh my goodness, Citizens are so close to putting this in with 23 seconds left. This is possibly the last fight, and they're so close, and they do it. Citizens are able to put it 1-1 in the series, and going on to Hollywood, and what do you think was the determining factor in that? Because it came down to the wire.
Yeah, it did. These defenses were just so good. Again, just they weren't able to pick up that second point. But I think really the ultimates were the deciding factor, especially with a great shatter like that with the Diva Bomb. Really good combo by the side of Citizens that most definitely won them that fight and won them this match in its entirety on Hollywood.
Yeah, it's a very interesting one. But like I said before, let's go ahead and vote for your MVP just in case you forget. The pick and bans will be coming through as we're talking about this. But the MVP it can be literally anyone at this point. Everyone has shown up, and speaking of showing up, Junkertown will not be showing up as that has been banned, and by Camboyo's team. And going into this next map, what do you think will be picked on the side of Citizens, or not Citizens, Redacted?
Redacted, I'm not quite sure. It seems like everyone is able to do really good with their defense, and really good with their offense as well when they combo their ultimates there. So I could see them really pick any map. Maybe they elect to go back to another control map. That way they can have a little bit more of that familiarization, because they did win that first map on Lijiang. So maybe they are gonna decide to go back to that, maybe on Oasis, just to kind of make it a little bit more feel like it's towards their favor. Because so far with the 3 we've seen, Redacted were able to win the control point map, or the control map, excuse me. They were also able to do really good defending on the 2CP, and then on that last match there with the hybrid, they did lose, but it was really close still. They're doing a really good job, both of these teams. So I think that they just want to go back over to Oasis, and that looks like that's what they're going to do. Dembeck deciding for Redacted, yes, we are going to go to Oasis. We did really good before on Lijiang, so why can't we do it again on another map?
Yeah, going to another control, they've won that. And this is a definite chance of going to a 6th game at this point, of course, with that draw coming in on Temple of Anubis. I mean, we don't see a 6 map very often, but we could definitely see it on this one. And going on Oasis next. And what heroes do you think will be saved and kicked?
Right now, Citizens is on the save. I'm not quite sure what Citizens would like to save here. Maybe they have a DPS in mind that they'd like to throw out there that they would want to save. But considering that we haven't seen too much of that from them, they aren't going to do that. And they really like their goats, so they're going to elect to save the Lucio here, which makes sense. Goats was what they were primarily running, especially on the start of Lijiang last on the first match. So right now, Red's probably thinking, what are they going to want to ban? They're going to want to ban Winston. Redacted. I said Red. It was abbreviated in chat, and I accidentally did that. That's my bad. Redacted is going to elect to ban the Winston. So running those DPS comps against the Rhine is just going to be so good, especially now that he can't go back and switch to Winston off the Rhine. So those DPS are just going to have a little more room to play, since they won't really have that Winston being able to jump on them or to jump in their backline and get one of their supports. So it should be a really good match. So very trying to get out the goats there, but it's still going to be able to be saved, I think.
Yeah, and that dive possibly is going to be kicked out from that Winston ban. But going into this, and I mean, how would you approach this if you're either team?
I think going into this, the approach, this is a very good map, I think, for some DPS comps. You get a McCree up onto the high ground from the jump pad. Maybe you want to have the soldier up there, but with this high ground possession over the point, it'd be really nice. And then you do have the pillar in the middle, so you could possibly see a Hammond, because he can just rotate himself all the way around that and just knock people all over. And it's going to be really hard to get much done when you're flying from one side of the point to the other. So going into this, I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe some DPS come out here, and that is what looks like is going to happen. It looks like Redacted is going to go with another Orisa comp. They're going to have the Mei this time. Long time no see there. And they're going to also have the Reaper and the Widow. Very good. Oh, Kuya taking for a loop. They're going to switch back over to the Torb from the Mei. Max going to go over to the Mei instead. So this could be pretty good here, especially since Citizens are going over to the GOAT style. That wall could separate them, and there's not much they can do depending on who you get on the other side of that wall. And they could just be able to get Brooks in there and just do a little bit of assassination, taking them out.
Yeah. And with that, we'll be getting straight into this Oasis map, and Reaper's going to be on this top part, see if he can get some poke damage from the top, and looking like he's going for it. And point will be open. That Torbjorn's going to be getting set up near the top, and hey, that turn will be taken down very easily and very quickly by Camboyo. And each team just trying to play pokey right now with that ice wall being popped up by that Mei on Max Demincio. I hope I said that right. Purple's actually able to get the turn again and able to get Kuyo. Able to dive in on that and the Torbjorn and to bring them down, and trying to dive in some more is Purple. He's been really aggressive so far in this map and throughout this series, and that's really helped them and propelled them to victory so far. And there's another diving kill there onto Brooks, but getting frozen. But it's a nice fight win from them there with that aggressiveness that really pushed them towards it. And I mean, if you're Uber on the side of Redacted, what are you trying to do to get this point?
I think they're still going to go at it with the same team comp they have. I think really it's just going to be about them looking for another good pick. They're going to switch Brooks from that Widow to the Hanzo. A little bit better against these GOATS compositions, in my opinion. Just better shield break, and Ryan without his shield is basically just free ult charge.
Oh yeah. And speaking of Ryan, the Urshad is not able to find anything, but Purple will be he'll be a little frozen, but not able to get anything from it. And Salieri will be taken down though from that ice wall. Very nicely done. And they'll be pushing onto this point and just trying to bully them away from it. And here comes the Coalescence on the side of Rack Attack, and here comes Molten Core and trying to push this one out. Kuyo is able to get two there, one with the turret, so it's kind of his skill, kind of not, but 51% on the side of Citizens and trying to push this one forward for them, and it definitely has a chance to go.
Yeah, for sure. And right now, looking at the side of Redacted, they have a lot of ults at their disposal right now, but the grab is on the side of Citizens, but a great sleep onto Salieri. Just got to kind of make this push a little bit harder for them. Having someone sleeping on the playing field isn't the best time. The Dragon is actually going to be sent through the bounce pad, not really going to come out too much though.
Yeah, no, to not much prevail. And they'll be all going on top trying to dive down here, 35%. Here comes the Graviton Surge and a double sound barrier, one from each side. Default is able to take down Brooks, and this could be huge on Citizen's side. They're able to get Camboy, or Camboy was able to go down, or not go down, but able to take down Max, and so is Kuyo. Rack Attack gets low here, but 51-51 right now, trying to hold Q-Chan, Dimbeck, and Carfixer. And that's just gonna be the end of this fight. And what was the beginning of the end on that fight?
I think what the beginning was there was that they were able to do really good at kind of moving them away from each other, with the whole team being able to focus roughly half or a couple players on the other team from Citizens over to Redacted. That really made it a lot easier. And right now, that's kind of what Redacted are trying to do here with Salieri. They were trying to catch him in that freeze, but unfortunately for them, he made it out just in time. Really good choice to use the charge there to get out that as fast as he could.
Yeah, and here comes the Dragon Strike into Coalescence as well. Dragon Strike is not able to get anything so far in this series other than some zoning, but not much. But speaking of getting something, Coalescence is able to get 3. And Salieri will be a little consolation, but not much. And they're over 90 right now, getting to 95%. And are they going to be able to touch this and contest it? Here comes a Diva Bomb, and no, they're not able to. 100% to 58, and Citizens are able to take that first point there. And what do you think was really the turnaround for them to be able to get that?
I think that they did a really good job focusing down targets there. They saw the Mei in her cryo over on the side, so everyone just turn their focus over towards the Mei, knowing, all right, they're there until about another 5 seconds if they like to stay in there relatively the whole time. That's when we're going to want to be able to just pounce on that Mei and just completely take her out as fast as possible. And then we can move on to someone else, because they just aren't able to get in super close with these GOAT compositions, because it's just so hard to stay alive against them because there's like one big player. Meanwhile, in Arisa comps like this, it's kind of like everyone's out on a different sort of playing field, trying to get picks from every angle, making it a little harder to focus down one person, but making it a lot easier to put in a lot of damage.
Yeah, and that's really been the staple so far of this game, is both teams been able to focus down plays, and that's been absolutely huge. And here we go onto this, and Redacted are nearly able to take this point without any contest. But finally going to be going down here is Citizens, and Dembek is just going to be in the corner, somehow able to escape and get two there. How is he able to get that on the Salieri and default car fixer? And that was really interesting because he was just able to push them off with that, and I'm fairly certain it was Beam that was able to boop them off, and then he just kind of got a little bit of credit for it because he likes to take credit for things. But
Hey, well, no matter what, that was a great job being able to get two really solid off the map kills right there at the start on the Ryan and the Zarya. Definitely two of the biggest people in that GOAT's composition here.
Yeah, and they do have the bongo on the side of Dembek, and see when they will be using that here. Living not too long, and they also have that nano as well. Here comes the bongo, and default will be able to take down that torrent, and purples, and they're just gonna be melted. Brooks comes in huge with the 4K, and purple even gets demeched, and he's able to get Camboyo and practically single-handedly wins that fight with the nano. And they're gonna have Blizzard and the Molten Core, and as well as the Sound Barrier going into this fight, and wow.
Yeah, really good job on the side of Redacted there to make sure that they got those good picks, and especially now that they saw maybe that that D.Va Defense Matrix just wasn't going to be able to have enough in there, so that damage boost onto Brooks was just massive. They couldn't do nearly anything about it, and that showed. Just an amazing time to use that ultimate there. And right now, it looks like they're pushing as hard as they can through here, but that Molten Core is going to be able to slow them down a little bit. You can see they split up again, but they are finding their bearings, meeting up with each other once again.
Yeah, D.Va Bomb's not able to get anything, and Dembek is just in this corner with this barrier, and that Blizzard is able to find one on the Salier, and Default's going to be able to fall as well. And this has just been absolutely beautiful. Kuya's going to get booped off the map. Here comes Brooks, but he's not able to get anything with it. With the Death Blossom, with that Coalescence, we'll be able to find something. Here comes Rally outside of Anchor. It's able to find some really good healing, but he's going to go down soon enough. And Purple's going to get demeched, and so is Camboyo out of this planet. And Max Demencio. Hopefully I'm saying that right this entire time, but he's able to find three there. But Purple and Default able to bring it back, but Max again holding strong right now. And this is going to be a huge fight. There's that bar as well. And overtime ticking down to 99 to 13%. Kuya is able to find one into purple. Dembek's going to get traded out here. Salier is going to switch over to that Hammond. And they need to find some stuff. Here's that Doomfist and the Hammond going to be coming onto this point. And this is going to be a legitimate fight now, because they do need to get players back onto this point as the defense. And if overtime ticks down, it's going to tick down fast. They're able to nearly take this point. And they finally will. And oh my goodness, what was the turnaround in that fight?
I think it was just getting those like big picks onto the main tank and just making it so hard for them to do anything. They got the pick over onto the Hammond. The Orisa shield was super far back, and they were just able to pick off everyone in front of that. Very good by them, especially with the Doomfist play there. Just able to put on a lot of pressure, because that is what Doomfist is. He goes in there and he disrupts, and that's exactly what we actually saw from Encro. So really good job there.
Yeah, and going into this, this could possibly be the last fight of, or possibly not the last fight of this map, but it could be close. And here comes a Coalescence on the side of Rack Attack. Purple's gonna get demeched, and Salier is getting really low, but not before he pops. His Earthshire is able to get Dembek, which is getting really low, but the Sound Barrier is gonna be able to save him. He's able to take down Max Demencio. And here comes the Rally and the Sound Barrier on the side of Citizens. And Default is coming up huge, able to get a double, and they're over 70% right now.
Yeah, really good rally there, making sure that they can get super aggressive. Shatter comes through. Got the sound barrier. Rack attack using his beam just to make sure everyone gets their healing, plus make sure any enemies in their way get a little bit of damage going on to them. But right now, going into this fight, Redacted almost having their grab. They also have 2 other tank ultimates coming through. And it looks like Default used his grab there. Force wasn't able to find anything. Salieri getting the pick on Akuya, though, outside of his mech.
Yeah, and here comes another Div-Bomb. Is able to find one on the Brooks with also that Graviton Surge. Just using comes Rally, and this possibly could be it here on Oasis. Here comes Soundberry just to be a little bit of annoyance his beam, but that's going down very quickly, and he's going to be taken down. Overtime is ticking down, and they're not going to be able to touch. That's going to be it on Oasis. Citizens able to take it 2-0, and each team have 1-1 on control going into the 5th map. It's 2-1. Citizens need to win 1 more. And I mean, the target prioritization has been absolutely insane from both teams. But yeah, we get to see Dim back. He's really nice from him. But I mean, by the way, go ahead and vote for your MVP, or if you're on Twitch, and if you're on D-Live, go ahead and hit us up on Twitch. Go ahead and vote for your MVP, and then slide on back over to D-Live if you ever want to. But I mean, that was just a great matchup. I mean, the scoreline doesn't really show it, but with the 2-0, but that was absolutely excellent from both teams, and the pick and bans will be coming through. And there's a lot of confidence riding into this next one, but do you think that Redacted has that confidence that they had from that first map to carry over into this?
I think they definitely do. They were able to get the second point up to 99, so they know that they can make it there. They know that they can take that stretch and just get so close to that win. Unfortunately, was taken away. Citizens were just able to come back and pull through. So I think going into this next map, Redacted are going to be pulling out all the stops, because now it's 2-1, I believe, for the side of Citizens.
Yeah.
One more map could decide. This next map could decide how we go through with this one.
Yeah.
So figuring out which one is going to be banned by Citizens
is Dorado.
will be...
Dorado, and then Paris will be picked.
Wow.
Okay, that was fast. I like that.
Redacted absolutely ready to play on Paris, which isn't something that we get to see a lot here. We don't get to see the Paris get played a lot.
Yeah, and I love seeing it get played sometimes.
Yeah, Paris is, personally, I have a really high win percentage on Paris. I think I've probably played the map probably about 8-9 times, and I only remember losing once on that map. Ooh. So I really love watching Paris get played out here. Unfortunately, teams don't like playing Paris. Wish they did, but I can definitely see why. The map can be very frustrating at times.
Yeah, and especially with that bunker composition. And I mean, would you see a ban on Bastion be absolutely just blown out of proportions, or do you think that could definitely happen?
For the ban side, it's gonna have to be Redacted. But Citizens is gonna elect to save that Lucio here. So the ban coming out from Redacted, maybe they want to make sure that they don't have a Pharah to kind of push in, but they would also want that Pharah as well, kind of going up with that. So I'm not quite sure what they'd want to ban here. Maybe they would like to ban possibly maybe a Mei, so that way they can't just get walled off. Right now, I think it's definitely a wild card as to what character will be banned.
Yeah, it's up there with it, and looking to ban a hero. They will select defense, by the way. So Citizens is on the blue and Redacted is on the red. Just a heads up, guys. You know, we love to give you guys that. And if you have a color changer on Refused, and you have it on like yellow and purple, that would be great to know that it looks like I'm colorblind. But yeah, someone hates Widow, don't we all? But waiting for a hero ban to come in. And how about this series so far? It's been absolutely excellent. And I mean, what's your thoughts going into this last map, or possibly last map?
I think going into Paris here, Redacted's really going to be looking to have one of their really good defenses, but Citizens, same thing. You know, this is one of the last maps. This could determine whether or not Citizens win. So you're going to see really good defenses coming out from them, and it looks like Redacted is gonna decide to ban the Brigitte.
Oh, come on. Gotta ban my main like that? Daggum. But, you know, I actually haven't seen many Brig bans, but it's one you want to go with, and they definitely can use it. I mean, reading rules. But, yeah, this should be interesting into this, and do you think I should read the rules that have been laid out? Anyway,
right now it looks like there might be a little bit of confusion in the chat. There's a little bit of con right now. Here it says if the map ends in a draw, that Citizens is gonna win and Red will win if it goes to if Red wins, then it'll go to a tiebreaker. But if Citizens wins, well, of course, they win the whole thing.
yeah.
Right now, it looks like there might be... Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of confusion. They thought it was going to be the first to 3, which it sort of is in a way. But I think what did kind of change it up here is the draw that happened on Anubis. But yeah, there is clarification. It is a best of 5. So now Redacted is ready, and it looks like Citizens is now ready. So should be ready to go here, it seems. Yes, we are. Oh man, I'm really excited for these defenses here. They just had such good defenses on Temple of Anubis that I think that they're going to have outstanding ones on Paris here too.
Yeah, both teams have showed absolutely incredible defenses. And okay.
Right now we're just going back this
Yeah.
turn
this
back to the lobby for a second. A little bit of issues.
We
We're
haven't had
fine.
a DC yet, so might as well have one of these. But
It's fine. It happens every now and
it
then.
happens. Yeah. We love Refused.
Yep.
He's a great producer.
There's always an issue every little somewhere, you know. You're a human. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, smashing your mouse and having to go buy a new one, aka a pro player, or
Yeah.
or you know, having a DC issue because of a storm. But you never know with these type of things. It happens. We love you, Refused. Heart.
Yeah. It'll happen from time to time. We're about to be able to see what they've picked here. For the defense, I'm expecting to definitely see Orisa come through here, and that looks like that's what they're going to go with an Orisa comp. They're going to have the Orisa, Winston, Torb, Bastion, Ana, and Baptiste. I love seeing the Baptiste come out. Baptiste, I love playing on Baptiste. He's just so much fun to play. He's got the amazing invincibility ability. That sounds weird saying it out loud. But
yeah.
But with that invincibility, it can definitely make a dive onto this bunker comp a lot harder. Also, Purple switching off their Winston over to a Diva now. And they got a lot of turrets, you know. And the thing about that Torb turret is you just set it off somewhere random, and it just does its damage on its own. So they're either going to have to think, well, do we want to try to completely ignore this, but it would still be putting damage in on us, or do we want to try to go in on it, but then you got to worry about the damage from the entire team? So you really just have to think about it, you know. There's the pros and the cons. It's just which one do you think you can get rid of quicker, all in all.
Yeah, and they're going to be switching up their positioning here with no shield so far. Actually placing it up there, and this possibly is a better move, but not able to have as much vision. But going on to this point, see how they're going to be going to try to protect this. That Torbjorn is going to be such a valuable part of this, and so is Purple. Able to get onto Brooks there. This Bastion is just holding this front line very, very well. Rack Attack and Cambodia are going to get a very healthy dose of a anti-nade, and a pause will be coming in. Yep. Why did I say anything about pauses earlier?
You know.
Caster Curse.
It happens. Yeah, the pause is going to come through here. And right now, Default actually was just taken out here. And on the defense, they don't have that Mercy to res him. So you got to think, is it going to be a lot harder for them to hold here? The pause is coming back. They're ready. Back into the match. They're down this Bastion. What are they going to do here? We're going to have to watch and find out.
Yeah, and Speaking of dealing with that torp turn, they are able to very quickly there onto Ink. They're possibly going to be able to get this point. They're going to be taking a little bit of a run back, and oh, he's able to get booped off. It's Salieri, and that's going to be that Arisa down on Camboyo as well. Dembek's going to be taken down by Incro. Incro's able to get 2 here. This defense is trying to hold huge.
Yeah, Incro really just putting in that damage there. Good job with the Torbjorn. But Max also with that great boop onto Salieri.
Yeah.
Right now, since that Bastion wasn't there, Max knew that he could just kind of go wherever he wanted to. Speaking of going wherever he wanted to, he's just going to walk right in there and use the barrage.
Yeah, able to get 1 on the rack attack. We will be traded out for it and will be res, and that's going to be the res gone for this fight. They're able to get 1 tick here. Now, Roadhog will be switched on by Salieri off of that Arisa. But here comes Molten, really able to cap this all the way and see if they are able to contest it. You would think so. Here comes a Dragon Blade, though. See if we can get anything. It's able to get 1. It's nearly able to get another one, but he's going to be taken down by the Molten Core. Anchor will be taken down. But they're able to fight this back, and after such a long fight, they're able to win it out. And what do you think was the defining factor in that fight?
Well, over there at the end there, Default in the Torp turret, aka the Wombo combo, was actually able to take out those last few remaining characters on the point. But honestly, I think what it was is just the staying power that they have there with that Torbjorn and with that Sombra just able to come back and forth through the translocator, come back with Invis, and they were just able to slot the point a little bit longer. And right now, good EMP coming out onto Kuya, not able to use his EMP now, and Dembek just getting pushed away now because of that.
Yeah, and what do you think about this ultimate economy difference on either side?
Well, I think right now it's definitely looking really good for Redacted, but I can definitely see Citizens being able to gain their ultimates a lot faster. But that EMP coming out big right now, taking out Camboyo fairly fastly. And now they're just going to run all the way to the point, knowing that there's not going to be much that Citizens can do when everybody doesn't have any of their abilities.
Yeah. Going into this, Rag Attack will be posting up that Transcendence, that Coalescence, and they're nearly able to get this point right now. And they here comes Molten Core, so I made it late even more. Yes, I just made that rhyme somehow. But they will be able to capture the point, hopefully. I would think. Yeah, thank you, Salieri. Anyways, going on to this, they have 3:20 left to go. And you think they'll just attack this really fast? You think they'll take their time with it?
I think what they should do is try to attack this really fast, knowing that they're not going to have that many ults to go in on. This blade could be really big. They're coming up on a nano, so a nano blade here really could just set it up for disaster on the side of Redacted, or on the side of Citizens rather. But if Brooks is hacked, there's no way he's going to be able to pull out that blade to begin with.
Yeah, and going with that, and there's going to be the nano onto the hand, and Brooks is able to go on onto Incro. And here comes the area denial. Max is able to get 2, but Purple's able to bring it back with 2 of his own, and Default's adding on to it. And this defense is holding strong, even after getting picked off, and able to bring that back. Wow.
Really good diva play we're seeing tonight here. Both divas, I feel like, have done a lot with their self-destructs, been able to eat a grab here or there, you know. They've just been doing really good all around. But Kuya actually going to switch over to the main now. Looks like Redacted back over to that Arisa comp that they do feel so comfortable on. But they're going to be running into an EMP, a sound barrier, and pretty close to a Moira Ultimate Coalescence. So, and not really much on their side. They're going to have to do a drive push or two just to try to get some of those ultimates out and make their way through. But unfortunately, Kuya gets picked off by Salieri.
Yeah, and that's going to be huge. Those early picks have been absolutely crucial so far in this series. And I'm actually able to get Salieri down, who's playing that Winston. And this could be huge, switching over to that McCree. And what about these ultimates? I mean, one team has 3 ultimates, one has none. I mean, how do you think this can be worked out?
I mean, like I said, they really just going to have to go for drive pushes here and just try to get as many ultimates out as they can, which is what they're hoping they're going to see from this. Build up their ultimates, let the enemy use theirs, and then come back full force. But actually, Default was all the way in the back there and picked off Kuya as soon as they came out of spawn.
Yeah, and Brooks is able to put in some work right now. I'm not able to get much out of it. He's able to get a lot of ultimate charge, so Max will be switching over to that Soldier 76 as yeah, there will be a good bit of ultimates here, and there's definitely a chance of a supercharged Death Blossom or a Nano Death Blossom with also the Bongo down, and which could be absolutely huge going into this.
Yeah, I think what's really going to be big going into this is probably going to be this Bongo here, because that's what's going to get everybody a lot more damage and get everyone a lot closer to their ultimates. You don't quite have it yet, but you got to be careful with that EMP, because that's just going to negate that Bongo completely. It's going to take away their shield once they get it. So I think we're about to see come out here and get a 6-man EMP, an amazing EMP coming out from default.
Yeah, and that's going to absolutely win the fight there. High Noon able to get one. I don't really think the High Noon was supposedly or could have been used there. I really think they could have saved that, but 10 seconds left and they have a chance to just absolutely hold them, not even touching. I don't think they will touch it. 3 seconds, and yeah, they're not even gonna be able to touch it here. Nice, great hold from them on the defense there. And what do you think really started that hold?
I think that the Sombra play from default there was exactly what they needed to win. Getting good hacks out onto the Mei near the start of the fight, able to even stop them from coming into that second fight on the second point, completely taking them out right out of spawn. But at the end there, that 6-man EMP along with that Bongo, and everyone just decides to go in onto them, because that's exactly what they needed to do from the side of Citizens. Just everybody jump in there and just completely take them out. Really good job there.
Yeah, being able to capitalize on those ults is a huge deal, especially with that 6-man EMP. And going into this, I mean, his compositions need to be nearly perfect. I mean, I would not doubt a Bastion coming out, which is not gonna happen. Okay, interesting. But what do you,
I'm not too surprised, because a Bastion does need to be kind of babied and pampered a bit from the rest of his team. There is a reason why he has one of the lowest pick rates, and that's because if he's not really kept complete control by his team, then it's really hard for him to stay up and get as much value as he could. But with characters like this Hanzo coming through, he's a little bit more, he's a lot more mobile. Bastion, when he's in his turret form, is completely hard stuck. Brooks also over onto the Ash, you know, another sniper, able to get that damage in from a long range, that dynamite, able to just light up a lot of people and build ultimates so quickly. And that is so important when you're just on the defense here, is to make sure that you have your ultimates as fast as possible, because the attackers sometimes they do like to just wait until everyone has a lot of their ultimates and then go in. But it looks like they're gonna go on the offense here with a quad tank.
Yeah, which is interesting. Interesting to see. I mean, do you see a lot of quad tanks being pulled out?
I don't see many quad tanks being pulled out these days, but what I do see getting pulled out is Max with that hook. Very good hook coming out from Encro right there.
Yeah, he's definitely getting hooked in there, and they're gonna go diving in on this point is Citizens, and this defense is actually doing well. Encro is able to take down Kuya, and they do have good control of this point right now and a good chance of taking it, as I believe they will. I mean, this Doomfist is just going to be a nuisance at this point. And yeah, I mean, just a great fight when they're, I mean, do you think it was the hook that really set it in?
Yeah, definitely getting a first pick on Alonzo is great there. It's definitely what you want to see. You see the GGs coming out in chat, because unfortunately, because of them getting that first cap, no matter what, it's going to end in a draw. So you will be seeing Citizens take this win. But are they going to take this last point? It looks like they're just going to give it to him. They're just emoting near the side of the point. Just hanging out, having a jolly old time. Oh, a 6-man shatter. It's insane.
Oh, clip it. Oh, I'm sure someone on Reddit's going to love that one. Anyways, good job, guys, on that 3-0 and no BM happening, which is awesome. But Yep. Great job there. Of course, the 6-man EMP gonna turn into it. Encro just looking for that POTG at the end with that, but
yeah. Say that High Noon wasn't necessary. Look at that. That Arisa was done for. Anyways, great plays coming out from both sides.
Oh yeah.
Especially default there. He was able to put in so much damage. He got 30 eliminations, 73% kill participation. Got that big EMP, which might have even completely saved this map with that one. So it was a very good job from their side.
Yeah. And here we go. Anyone from Citizens will be coming in here. And yeah, this is... But what a great match. I mean, we love seeing matches between teams that are absolutely brilliant. That is one that we just watched. I mean, you can definitely tell that both teams have a lot of practice with each other, and it's just absolutely excellent to see teams coming in and bringing a high performance, and Citizens able to bring it back. And I mean, go ahead and vote for your MVP down in the bio. I mean, if you're over on DLive, go ahead and shoot us over on Twitch, and go ahead with a follow if you're ever feeling so kind. Go ahead and guess a tier 1, 2, or 3 sub, and hit us with Twitch Prime. We wouldn't mind at all. And yeah, just go down, hit us in the bio, hit us with a MVP, and then slide over back to DLive. But you never know. Never know who you guys will vote for, because we've had times where the Mercy was picked MVP, but no disrespect to Mercies out there. But yeah, it's just figuring some stuff out in chat. We'll get back to whenever that stuff gets wrinkled out and with a fine iron, I guess.
Yeah, it's very good gameplay, and we are actually going to have one of these players able to come in here, so that way we can have a little bit of an interview with them and see how the match went for them and how they feel the match went for their team in general.
Yeah, and going into this should be interesting to see.
Yeah, right now everyone's just kind of very happy on the side of Citizens, but they should definitely not be upset on the side of Redacted. Both these teams had amazing holds on Temple of Anubis. They did a great job on Li Jiang, on Oasis. They're on Paris too. Just everybody, I feel like, did super good there. It's just the fact that Citizens was able to come out on top today and be able to go into the next fight.
Oh yeah, very much so. And those defenses should definitely be proud of themselves. And speaking of themselves, Rack Attack, welcome to the stream. Hi, how are you? And congratulations.
Hello, how's it going?
I'm absolutely great. Are you pumped after that match?
Yeah, it's definitely confusing. Some comps we've never run into. Some comps we haven't run.
Yeah, quad tank.
Oh
It's
yeah.
an interesting one. But I mean, how was your comms going through that entire match? Was it like really high? Was it really calculated, or was it just all over the place?
For the last map, or like all through?
Yeah, that's great to hear. And were you guys like taken back by Li Jiang?
Wait, can you repeat the question? Sorry.
Were you guys like it's fine. Were you guys like stumbled a little bit during Li Jiang after Redacted took that first map?
Oh, we were just really not warmed up. We had a warm up from 6 to 8, and then we played an hour straight of parkour. So we were not in the game sense yet.
Well, hey, but you had the movement down. All right, that's a big thing. All right.
Going into this match, what was your guys' preparation coming into this? Like, did you guys watch them? What did you guys do?
I mean, we couldn't see anything on them. I don't know if any of their games were streamed, but we just assumed that they'd play DPS, so we knew what we were going against.
Yeah. And what is your... Are you guys more of a practicing team or more of a scrimming team? Because some teams like to go into their own server and go over some different things. Or are you guys like more of a scrim team?
I mean, we scrim, but like 1 to 2 blocks a week. We'll just go over VODs against like DPS comps so we know what we're doing.
Yeah. And would you guys say that you're more of a goats team, or you feel more comfortable on DPS compositions, and why do you think that?
I think that we're definitely more of a goats team just because our strengths are really well. Like if if they know the shatter's coming, he'll just block it every time. He'll be able to shatter runs, and we're all just really coordinated together with it.
Yeah, we're definitely able to see that. And speaking of being really coordinated, we saw some really, really nice plays coming out from you guys, being able to focus down targets really well. That's something that comes with the GOATS play and with a lot of teamwork. We definitely were able to witness that. And thank you for actually coming in here and giving us a little bit of insight into your guys' team. And congratulations and on moving on.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
And with that, Zach, I mean, that was just a great match from both teams, and being able to see that great play come out is really awesome to see. And what do you think was, like, I've said this a good bit, what do you think was the determining factor in the win for Citizens?
I think it really just came down to how well coordinated they were and how good their goats are, because you can see them always kind of trying to shift over to a side where maybe they can see a little bit of a weak point or a weak link and taking them out, especially on Oasis there. I remember on one map, the May was cryo freezed over on the right side, and I did say that they went over, focused them down. They did a great job with that. On Anubis, they had a great Winston go to kind of just focus down on people in the back line there. They were just doing exactly what they needed to do, and they were able to pull it off.
Yeah, and being able to have a plan of what you want to do is one thing, but being able to execute that is a whole different thing. And that's one of the big things of playing competitive Overwatch, because you can have a composition that you want to run, you think it's absolutely solid, but if your team's not able to capitalize on it, then I mean, it's just a composition that's there. But I mean, what were your like thoughts going through that entire match, like starting from the first map?
Starting off, I wasn't 100% sure what the comps were going to be running to. Unfortunately, I didn't get to prepare myself, pardon me, for this match as much as I would have liked to. But just seeing them come through, I knew Citizens was a great team, and I knew that Redacted making it this far, they were also going to be a good team. So I knew no matter what, we were going to have a great match here, and that's exactly what we got. We had amazing defenses, we had good offenses, we had great DPS coming out, we had great divas, we had great supports. Everything about this match was just so much fun to watch, and I definitely think that these teams will be looking at this VOD and thinking, okay, we definitely did something right here. And also at times maybe think to themselves, okay, well, we definitely could have maybe tried to shift things around a bit.
Yeah, and we will be trying to get you guys the MVP, or the viewers MVP, hopefully shortly. But I mean, it's like we've said before, it's oh, it's not live.
Yeah,
Great.
You kept talking about the MVP, and I was like, I'm pretty sure it's not live.
I don't know why. I thought I've been getting screwed up lately, but thank you guys for watching.
What a way to end it.
Yep.
Great Overwatch to end your day. A little bit of a mishap to also end your day, but it's fine because, you know, you just got to see some great Overwatch. You got to hear a little bit of banter. At the end there, we got to interview somebody. At the start, we got to interview someone from Redacted. At the end with Citizens. So all around, you just got to hear a little bit from both teams. You got to see a lot from both of these teams. So honestly, all in all, I'd say today went amazing.
I went absolutely great. But with that, I've been Aries, your play-by-play caster for today. You guys can go ahead and follow me on Instagram, Aries_Thompson, ARES_THOMPSON. And yeah, just go ahead and see me in my daily life and what I do as a high school student athlete / commentator / esports personality, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, you guys can go ahead and follow me on that. Zach, do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, as your color caster for the day, you can find me on Twitch. Sometimes I will be streaming anything from Overwatch, maybe Battalion. Maybe you might catch me on Rainbow Six. It just kind of depends. I like to stream a little bit of variety. You might also catch me. I do like to stream now when I watch over VODs. So, you know, if you feel like it, come and stop by. You can also find me there on YouTube, at Instagram, at PoorZach. And yeah, that's about it for me.
Yeah, and one more shout out. We have the lovely Refuse of producing all of these games, no matter it be live or pre-recorded. We love having him. He's the thing is running. Of course, we are Star Esports now. This will be running under the Watchers, if that makes any sense, but it's sponsored by Star Esports. But if it was not for Refuse, we would not be here whatsoever, and we'd love to have him. Great producer, and hopefully no black screens today. But thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good morning, good evening, or good night wherever you are in the world. We love you. Adios, amigos.
Adios.